G'day chaps, I'm just jumping on quickly because I really want to update you about this latest around the verse and what they've told us. So yeah, this is about damage effects, which on the face of it doesn't seem particularly exciting until you see the footage and you realize what they are creating. And this, for me, really gives a sense of just how much effort they're putting into the game and the kind of, especially the mood they're trying to create, and the fact that they are talking about mood is really encouraging for me. So this is going to be a really experiential game, I'm sure of it. Anyway, so I'm going to get into some detail. I'm going to very quickly kind of give you an overview of what I took away from the video, and then I'm going to play you the footage. I'm going to cut the footage slightly differently than they've got it in around the verse. I'm going to do the sound design first because I think that's more impressive. And now I'm going to play you the full clip where they talk about the damage effects and all the details. So, firstly, the mood. They talk about, and I really love this sort of Ridley Scott kind of feeling, this sort of 1980s dystopia, so Blade Runner, that kind of thing. This is where they've taken their inspiration from. So it's really that sort of dark, you know, almost sinister kind of feel that they're trying to create with this damage effect. So if your ship is damaged, you're really going to kind of get that tension and that stress and that sort of, you're going to feel that something's wrong as well as knowing it rationally. The other thing that really stood out, and I love this, is the sound design. So as you'll see, he talks about having hundreds of sound spots within a single ship. So literally like the drops on the floor at the same time as the sprinkler above it. So you've got the sound of the sprinkler above you, and then below you can actually hear the drops hitting the floor as a separate sound. And there are going to be hundreds of these around. So as you're moving around your ship, you know, with good headphones on and hopefully VR, you're really going to feel like you're in this environment. It's incredible. He also says that you get more information as you get closer to a certain point. So they have these layers, this depth of information that's going to be fed through to you, the user. The other thing they talk about is the lighting. Didn't really take too much away, apart from the fact that they're kind of emulating the lighting in the real world. So it's going to feel quite real. Yeah, that's it really. Overall, like I said, the game is looking so experiential, and just the detail, the level of immersion that we're going to have in this game is unlike anything I've ever seen before, and it just confirms my personal belief that this is going to be the best game ever of all time. And that's not hype. That's just, I truly believe this will be it. Right, now I'm going to shut up and I'm going to play these clips for you. So as I said again, it's the bit about the sound design first, because I think that sort of gives you the experience, the feeling that I'm talking about here, and then I'll play you the bit where they discuss how they've built it and all that detail. Right. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now, boys.
So here we are on the Idris, and obviously looking around, something pretty catastrophic has happened. So this is the audio design for a very damaged, crashed in fact, Idris, and we'll fly through the level now, nice and slowly, so you can soak up the ambience, and I'll keep the chat to a minimum. Once again, with this version of the Idris, the emphasis has been on detail and creating a very positional 3D environment to explore. And this approach of using hundreds upon hundreds of individual sound spots to create the audio environment does give you this sort of 3D positional thing, but it gives you a great sense of depth. And as you approach many of these sound spots, their character changes, they brighten as you get closer to them, and we bring in lots more layers of detail. So as you examine something and get closer to it, it opens up and you see and hear more information. So just for a moment, let's remind ourselves what it's like at the other end of the damage spectrum on board the Idris on a good day. And you can hear that it's a pretty serene experience. It's a calm, gentle ambience. The ship's humming away nicely. But as we start to bring up the procedural damage in the audio, things start to rattle and hum, and the ambience changes dramatically. The whole feel of the ship changes. Much more tension. These electrical boxes on the wall rattling and vibrating in different ways. Again, reflected in hundreds of sound spots across the ship that all have this dynamic character which morphs and changes to reflect the health of the ship. So right now, let's have a look back on the catastrophically damaged Idris. Let's take a quick look behind the scenes. So here you can see we've got some emergency fire sprinkler sounds, and there's a particle system right here, and that has a sound of the sprinkler associated with it. But here on the floor is an auxiliary sound that is the sound of the water drops splashing and hitting other surfaces. So, you know, there's these different dimensions to even simple ambient sounds such as a fire sprinkler. So hopefully that's given you a sense of what we're doing to bring the ship alive, really, and take our immersion to the next level. So yeah, thanks for watching.
The stuff we're about to show you today is full R&D investigation into the catastrophic damage of capital ships. There's some very specific milestones and goals that we try to accomplish with this, because there is a high-level plan to have fully explorable dead ships, not only in space but also on planet surfaces. The idea behind the R&D work was initiated, shall we say, from a key point in the story. It was something that I wanted to kill two birds with one stone. So we know we wanted to achieve these things for the PU, and why not try and do the same for some parts of the story. So the starting point was, we've obviously got a lot of capital ship material that we can use, ranging from the Idris to the Javelin to the Bengal. the key point is that we didn't want to have to recreate everything from scratch. So you could, for example, take an environment or a ship and go, okay, this is 100% damage now, and start again. You would get a very good result that way. But what we wanted to do is we really wanted to push strong reuse of existing assets, simple shader swaps, and full use of VFX and lighting to push a mood and a feel into these areas. By default, when I went around a lot of the different departments and I spoke to them about the catastrophic damage, the default thought that comes to everyone's head is it's on fire. Everything is burning to ashes and no one can escape or get out or get in, and that's great. But if you study real-world reference, such as aircraft carriers, big ships in the ocean, oil rigs, they have very advanced fire retardant systems that's more than capable of essentially putting catastrophic fires out, so fire crews can get in. And not only does that kind of make things accessible, but it also kind of opens opportunity to have lots of wet surfaces that we can then, with the light going out, play with very kind of clever lighting techniques to try and like kind of push a mood that we're after, which is dark, dead, slow. It should kind of work. The environment that you're used to should now be working against you. So these are the things that we're trying to create. As mentioned, first we looked at a lot of real-world reference, such as oil rigs, large structures that can put themselves out, like aircraft carriers. Obviously, that's not enough. There's a wealth of films and reference that we can kind of look at and pull inspiration from. I'm lucky enough to have worked on some of those, so much like the cat. But the real kind of mood and feeling came from a lot of kind of Ridley Scott stuff. And if the wheel isn't broken, I don't believe in fixing it. So we had a lot of inspiration from IP such as Alien, Blade Runner, all the 80s classic sci-fi films, shall we say. I hope that gives you an insight into the work that's gone into the R&D for the catastrophic damage effects. It's a huge collaborative approach between a lot of departments, not just art, but also Ali and his team and Mike and his team with the VFX. Seeing everyone come together to kind of produce these results is awe-inspiring, and I hope you liked it.